Good morning, guys. Today we're going to look at how to correct a paper in the drafting process. So what you're looking at here is a student paper. It has already been submitted to WebLocker and graded. But when you get the paper back, you're going to see lots of marks on the paper, and you want to be able to go back and fix them. So I'm going to make a couple of suggestions about how to do that because sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming to look at all those marks on a paper and you don't quite know what to do. Well, the first thing you want to do is looking at this paper is first off, pull up the paper. Go to your WebLocker. You want to download it to the desktop so that it's sitting in a web document just like you can see up here. See, I'm in web, or I'm in Word. Then first thing I notice about this is a couple of things. I can already tell that this person did not run spell check. Most of you did, but in case you didn't, the first thing you want to do to fix any mistakes is to run your spell check, which will get rid of some of these red and blue lines that you can see. All right, so you do spell check by going to review, clicking the ABC button, and it's going to run through. This is just a mistake with the title, or actually this is just them being clever with the title. I actually kind of like this. One thing I will change is you don't need to capitalize the. You do not capitalize unimportant words in a title. They also used all caps. I'm willing to let that go. Normally you would just capitalize the first letter of an important word. So we're going to make that change. Okay, we're going to ignore this because we're kind of okay with that word, peering. Okay, opinion is spelled wrong. Okay, so we're going to click that. Okay, notice we have an extra space after today, so we can change that. Okay, because normally you don't want to start a sentence with because, but I'm okay with that. The reason they're having a problem with because here is because it's not capitalized. If you look up here, you can see that because is starting off the sentence. You'll want to make sure that you capitalize the first letter of a sentence. Okay, so we're going to change that. This is a fragment. Okay, and what I go back is when I start reading this paper again, it says, in my opinion, grades are a big thing for teens today, period, because they're looking forward to getting education and success in life. You can see that. Really, they actually didn't want to capitalize that. So I'm going to go back and double click in the paragraph and it'll let me start typing. I'm going to get rid of that period and put that lowercase back. All right. What I also notice is here, one of the things we talked about in our last unit was putting commas after starter phrases like first and next. This needs a comma after in my opinion. So it should be, in my opinion, grades are a big thing for teens today because they are looking forward to getting, and instead of that education, they probably want to say an education and being successful in life. Okay, so I'm just rereading that sentence again and finding some ways to kind of freshen it up. Okay, so now that I've actually finished typing in the paper, I can go back to the spell check and click resume. Okay, now it's taking me to the next place, basketball. Basketball is one word, so I can go down here and click change. Okay, can't is a contraction, so it needs to be CAN apostrophe T, so I can click change. Sometime is one word, change. Parents is spelled wrong, so I can click that. Okay, same word again, parents. Okay, there, you actually mean the possession is an ownership. Their kids, THEIR, so we can change that. Okay, and notice that here, parents, pressure, I think that's, and sometime your parents' pressure, I'm not sure why. Oh, I think we have an extra space, so we can click that. If you're a boy and you want to, okay, we're going to ignore that one because we actually do want there. So I'm going to ignore the rule. That's what you do if you don't want to change it. Ignore the rule. Okay, sometimes your parents' pressure, it's going back to that same one. I'm going to ignore the rule and then go back and read that. Okay, so notice now that we've gotten rid of all those red lines. Okay, so that's a good start. Next thing I'm going to notice is that this last line here is in the center, which probably means that they centered their entire paper instead of just centering their title. So I can go back to the home button and click here on the paragraph section. This is going to be the center alignment, but we only want that for our title. So I can go and click left alignment and it's going to line that up correctly. Okay, then I want to make sure that this title does get centered, so I can click that. Okay. One thing that this person is missing up here is that heading, you know, where they put your name, then my name, the paper, and then the date. I'm not going to add, so that would be student's name, my name, the paper, so this would be, or the class, English 1, and then the date. I'm not going to add that here. I'll let them go back and do that. That is important because that's how your teacher knows whose paper this is. So if you can't remember how to do that, you can go back and look at the video on the Facebook page of what order that is. Another thing this person is missing up here is your page number. Remember, you go into page numbers through insert, header, footer. You want to insert actually page number. Okay, type in, you want it on the right hand side. Okay, type in your last name in front of it. So they'll want to add in a page number up here. You'll also want to indent by hitting the tab key. Oops, that first line. Okay, then you want to just go back through on the papers that you handed in and that I've given back. You're going to have circle marks and you're going to have some editing marks on there. Just go back and go word by word. Okay, mark by mark. Sometimes I've told you what you need to fix. Sometimes you need to fix it on your own. So if you can't figure it out, ask me. But this is really the time for you to start to figure out, how do I make my papers better, to really start to notice some things that you need to fix, okay, so that you can fix them before you ever turn them in. For example, one last thing you can see here, this person used the letter U for the word you. So instead of putting Y-O-U, they just put the word you. You guys know you don't use text speak in a paper, so that's just going to be one of the things you have to remember. I need to go back and edit for text speak. Okay, so go back through. If you have any questions about how to peer review, let me know. But this is the next step in becoming better writers. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.